What's up, everybody? This is Jube from section 122 on ArgosEndzone.com. It's time for your Week 5 preview. As always, you can skip ahead to the chapter you'd like by clicking on the See More button there below me on the YouTube channel and clicking on the corresponding time of what you might be interested in. Before we get into Week 5, let's take a quick look back at Week 4. So last week saw the Argos travel to Ottawa for the very first home opener of the Ottawa Redblacks franchise. Argos fell by a single point, which led to a lot of complaints on social media from Argos fans saying that head coach Scott Milanovich should have put Swayze Waters in for a very long field goal attempt, or to punt it through the end zone for a rouge to get the tie and play for it overtime, rather than have Ricky Ray behind center, who ended up throwing his second interception of the season and the game, which brought it to a close. Granted, if he throws a touchdown pass, we're all saying what an amazing call and gutsy move by Milanovich. So it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, as there's plenty of sites out there like that. On the plus side, though, you saw some great work from the Argos defense. They didn't allow a touchdown the entire game. And that defensive performance included an outstanding hit by Mr. Shane Horton. If you haven't seen the hit, go to the Argos website and click on their video there because it's fantastic. He just destroys Siobhan Walker. It's fantastic. I'm becoming a big fan of that fellow there. Also on offense, the Argos were the only of the two teams that actually scored a touchdown, but it wasn't enough as the special teams made the difference with all the field goal kicking. So it didn't go quite the way the Argos had hoped. You're definitely seeing the influence of the lack of Owens and Drury in the passing game for the Argos. We'll have to see what they've come up with here for Week 5. Week 5 sees the Argos travel to Riderville to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. A lot of media are pointing at this as being a pivotal game for both teams, as both have struggled here early in the 2014 season. It'll be interesting to see who's made the right adjustments to come out on top this week. On the Argos side, of course, we were looking for somebody to step up on offense to assist Ricky Ray moving the ball downfield, as he's still without his three primary receivers of Barnes, Drury, and Owens. We'll have to. There's a lot of people saying that John Childs is due to step up here. There was a couple of passes that he missed last week that might have changed the tone of the game. So we'll see him elevate his game this week, I'm quite sure. The running game had some potential against Ottawa as Steve Slayton saw his first action in the CFL, played very well, moving with speed and power, which is a great compliment to Curtis Steele, who the Argos feel is more valuable on special teams possibly than in the offensive backfield. We'll have to see how that develops. Speaking of developing, Anthony Coombs continues to have that one big play each game for big yardage, so we'll look to see him continue his progression on the offensive side. Defense, the Argos played a really strong game defense. It was that bend not break style that played a huge factor in their 2012 Grey Cup win, as they didn't allow the Redblacks to reach the end zone. If they can keep Saskatchewan out of the end zone, it creates that much more opportunity, of course, for the Argos to come out on top. You're seeing, it's one of these for the defense. It's a great game, lousy game, great game, lousy game. In theory, they're due for a lousy game. I think it's going to be different. And, of course, special teams. Swayze Waters played very well. We had good field position, moving the ball on special teams and pinning the Red Blacks deep. So this could be a deciding factor as well in this game against Saskatchewan. If both teams are struggling offensively, that field possession becomes a huge factor. So when it comes to this week's fantasy pick, I might surprise some of you by going with the Argos defense. I'm going to address the Argos defense and special teams this week against the Roughriders. As I was saying before, this could be a battle of field position, so it could be coming down to a key turnover on the defensive side of the ball to turn things around. There's a lot of pressure on the Argos offense to perform and try to find their way without those key receivers, so the defense is going to be looked at to step up. Given that shorter field, frankly, if they could score a defensive touchdown, it'd be fantastic. So watch the Argos defense play a big factor in this week's game that could help you get to BC and the Grey Cup this year. So, prediction for this week. As I said, I'm expecting, with both offenses struggling slightly, that you're going to see this as a grind-out, battle of field position type of game, where the defense and special teams are going to lead the way, which, unfortunately, leads to a low-scoring affair. I hope I'm wrong on that one. I, of course, hope the double blue comes out on top, but I'm predicting something in the neighborhood of a 13-7 type of game for our double blue. We all love high-scoring offense, so I hope I'm wrong, but just the way things have been going on both sides, this could be what we're looking at this week. preview. Hope you had some fun. As always, feel free to leave comments below. Let us know what you liked and didn't like so we can keep evolving this for you. As always, feel free to follow us on all of our social media. We'll be tweeting a lot during the game, of course, and posting anything else we can think of that might be just a little bit educational and or entertaining. Make sure that you're, of course, checking out the game on Saturday. The Friends of the Argonauts Corn Roast is August 9th, so make sure you check that out. Link is below to the Facebook page for all the information. That should be a great time. As I was saying before, cfl.ca/Nissan. A vote for yours truly would really mean a lot to get me closer to that Nissan Juke. And that's going to wrap things up for us this week. Again, Saturday, 10 o'clock start TSN, unless you happen to be in Saskatchewan, like a couple of my favorite Admirals are. Have fun there, guys. We'll see you back home very soon. But until then, this is Jube from Section 122 on ArgosEndzone.com saying we ride the rail and we ride it hard.